want to revisit a word which is easy to understand. Okay, you have the hypothalamus and you have the amygdala and you have the fight or flight, the sympathetic nervous system. But this term, which can be off-putting just because it can be so confusing, and yet it's fundamental to our life, just this word consciousness. I grew up in a gazillion years ago when they used terms like buzzwords like consciousness raising. And as I said before, no one really knows what it is. And then you throw in words like panpsychism, or is consciousness an epiphenomenon, from the way the brain functions. Let's just simplify things so much and talk about why it's a valid word these days when we wake up in the middle of the night and we can't fall back asleep because we're worried about stuff, or we're finding ourselves being reactive. So consciousness, as Maharishi defined it beautifully, is just awake, wakefulness. How awake am I? And he describes, quote unquote, enlightenment as being fully wide awake within yourself. So a school teacher is very well aware of consciousness of a child. If the child didn't get much sleep that night, then it comes and sits in class and there's a dim consciousness. Or if didn't eat a good breakfast or there was a fight, then there's an agitated consciousness. Or the child or adult meditated and did other things, and now there's a settled consciousness. It's foundational to our life. It's unfortunate it's such a confusing term because it's how we live our life. We regain consciousness. We wake up. Being conscious of, I'm going to be a little technical here, being conscious of is very specific. Oh, I'm conscious of that bird singing, or now I'm conscious of some activity going over on the left side over there outside my vision. That's conscious of. But just consciousness, just consciousness. That's being awake. And that is foundational to life. It's foundational to life. When we're awake, fully awake, then what happens is, in order to be fully awake, tying back to the body, then my body has to be healthy. I have to be integrated. My brain has to be functioning properly. The amygdala can't be, like out of control. The prefrontal cortex can't be disconnected. But all those things functioning together just allow me to be awake. And when I'm more awake and my frontal lobe is online, then I make better decisions. And then I don't get lost in freaking out or worrying or reactivity. It's how I am. And so we can look at when we meditate as doing all this constellation of wonderful things that take place in a minuscule way or in a big way. Generally, growth is, little bits at a time. You plant a tree. It's not like I plant a tree and then I water it and then 2 days later it's a oak. Nature is just gradual, but steady. So that's what we're doing. And so we're steadily repairing our body, nervous system. We're steadily promoting that integrated functioning of our nervous system. We are steadily waking up our consciousness. Just that simple thing. And that allows us to perceive the world, which is coming at us in such confusing ways, to be on top of it, to not be overwhelmed by it, to be steady, to be anchored. I have a poem written by Robert William Service called My Inner Life. Service was a British-Canadian poet and writer who was often called the Bard of the Yukon, or the Canadian Rudyard Kipling. It's a nice description of meditation, I think. "'Tis true my garments threadbare are, and sorry poor I seem, but inly I am richer far than any poet's dream. For I've a hidden life no one can ever hope to see. A sacred sanctuary none may share with me. Aloof I stand from out the strife, within my heart a song. By virtue of my inner life, I to myself belong. Against man ruling I rebel, yet do not fear defeat. For to my secret citadel I may retreat. O you who have an inner life beyond this dismal day, with wars and evil rumors rife, go blessedly your way. Your refuge hold inviolate, unto yourself be true, and shield serene from sordid fate the real you. Right all, thank you for joining. We'll connect again soon. Have a good day.